Grafana. In this video, I'm going to explain what Grafana is, why it exists, and what's the problem it solves. Data sources, dashboards, panels, variables, and the three pillars of observability. We will start with the old way of monitoring and end up with a full Grafana dashboard showing data from multiple sources at the same time. My name is Diego. I'm a senior DevOps engineer based in Paris, and I like breaking down tech concepts into simple and visual explanations. If you want to see more videos like this one, feel free to subscribe, and that's all. Back to the video. Imagine we are monitoring an infrastructure in the traditional way. We will probably have an NMS, Network Management System, something like Nagios or PRTG, using SNMP to collect monitoring data from our devices. Things like CPU usage, interface traffic, memory usage, uptime, and it works. But here is the first problem. Most of the data we are getting is about the hardware, nothing else. What about the monitoring of the applications that are running inside those servers? For that, you will normally use a completely different tool. So now you have one tool for hardware, another one for what's happening inside your apps, and maybe a third one just for logs. Three tools, three different views, but zero connection between them. Let's say that users start complaining that our service is slow. Is it the server? Is it the application? You check one tool, then the other, then go back. You are jumping between them, trying to correlate what's going on. And that's exactly the problem Grafana solves. Grafana is a visualization tool. You connect your data to Grafana, no matter where it's stored, and build dashboards that show everything in one place. For example, hardware metrics next to the application logs, or things like cloud billing next to our container's performance. And the way you connect your data is through something called data sources. A data source is a connection between Grafana and the thing storing your data. For example, you have a MySQL database with customer data. You can add that database as a data source in Grafana and visualize your customers' data directly. The number of data sources supported by Grafana is crazy. You could even connect a Google Sheet. Yes, a Google Sheet. That's also a data source. And that's the cool part. Your data can live in completely different places. And Grafana centralizes the visualization of all of it. One of the most common data sources you will see working with Grafana is Prometheus. The way Prometheus works is simple. You install small programs on your servers called exporters. An exporter reads data about the thing it's monitoring and makes that data available. Then Prometheus comes and collects it. There are a lot of exporters out there. You can monitor pretty much anything. For example, NGINX exporter. It exposes metrics about your web server, like active connections and amount of requests. Or Node exporter, that exposes things like CPU, memory, and disk space from a server. But why bother with all this? Why not just keep using our old NMS for things like CPU and memory and connect that data to Grafana instead? The reason is because the way we build applications has changed. In the old days, you had a few servers, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe even 100, but you could still monitor them one by one. But today, a lot of companies use Kubernetes. I have a full video explaining Kubernetes and how it works, so feel free to check it out. But basically, instead of 5 servers, you might have hundreds of small containers running at the same time. You cannot manually set up monitoring for each one. It's not scalable. Prometheus does this automatically. It finds new containers, monitors them, and stops monitoring them when they disappear. But Prometheus doesn't only shine when working with Kubernetes. You can also use it to monitor normal servers, virtual machines, basically whatever you need. And then we connect Prometheus to Grafana as a data source, and you can visualize all of it. So now we have metrics showing up in Grafana, and that's great. But metrics alone doesn't give you the full picture. For that, let me introduce you to the three pillars of observability. Metrics. We have been talking about them. They are basically numbers that change over time. Things like CPU usage, or requests per second on your application. Logs. These are detailed messages of what's happening inside your applications, errors, warnings, or simply debug information. Traces. A trace is the path that a single request takes across multiple services, which service called which, and the time the request is spent on each one. Metrics tell you something is wrong. Logs tells you why. Traces tells you where. Each one covers a different part of the incident. Ideally, you will need the 3 of them to get the full picture. And with Grafana, you can visualize all these data sources. Metrics from Prometheus, logs from Loki, and traces from Tempo. This is known as the LGTM stack. Loki, Grafana, Tempo, and Mimir. But most of the teams just use Prometheus, and that's totally fine. Okay, so now we have our data sources connected to Grafana. But how do we actually visualize all that? Dashboards. A dashboard is basically a view where you put all your visualizations together. Each visualization is called a panel. A panel can be a graph, a stat number, a pie chart, a table, a heat map, pretty much whatever you need. Each panel runs a query against one or multiple data sources and displays the result. This logic is exactly what allows you to visualize data coming from different data sources in one single view. But this is just the beginning. Grafana can do a lot more, like setting up alerts, creating playlists of dashboards, adding annotations, and a lot more. You can install and run the open source version of Grafana yourself, or use Grafana Cloud, which is their paid service with extra features. These videos take me weeks to produce. A simple comment helps the video reach more people. I will appreciate it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.